suggesting having every other board meeting at a different school.
Believe me, Marilyn, I know he's more diplomatic than I am, maybe too much at sometimes. But the bottom line here is that we're the guys who catch the brunt of the shit when things don't get done. And so I'd love to be able to say, Frank, you got to tell the school, is that what's going on over there?
Yeah,
Or
amongst
some-
ourselves,
You know, so that, hey, Ronnie, I mean, you're up at the high school here, but, I'm getting killed. I got people saying that this and this isn't being done.
Before, we assigned each board member as a liaison to the
liaison.
school. And it wasn't just for one particular item,
No,
it was
sure.
for support
Yeah,
any
any
issue.
issue.
Any issue.
It worked out good.
Well, it doesn't make
That's
sense.
what worked out.
It doesn't make sense.
And
You
if
get
that
calls.
person would become
Yeah,
a functioning part of, their functions or things like that.
Not only that, but a board member will walk into school and the red
But
flag
it was-
doesn't go up.
No, but it was good things and bad things. Luncheons, that liaison
Yeah.
would show up.
go have lunch one day.
Yes, things like that.
It was nice.
I remember
used
that
to do
worked. I think when I was in elementary,
I do it.
principal, I think we had that.
Yeah.
No more free lunches.
No, I pay.
Where does,
You can fill out the form and get it free.
Where does Joe Trout's authority begin as director of building maintenance? Let's say in this building, dealing with a private management company. He comes here and he finds something that he has a problem with, and he addresses that to the management company, and then it's not fixed. Where does he have the authority to say that it has to be fixed? And if it's not fixed,
Oh, no.
what discipline does he have to met out to anybody? If it's the management company and they don't met out discipline because they can't do no wrong, where does he
Joe
come
would have
in?
the authority to oversee it and let the private company know where they went wrong.
Okay,
If it's not addressed, then it would go to the superintendent, and I would address it with the management company.
Yeah, but can't we?
What's your recourse?
Your recourse
All right,
should be.
penalties.
Well, the recourse needs to be read through as far as penalties that are in the contract.
There's penalties.
For not-
I would say-
We've heard in board meetings how people get back money.
I was just
But we
gonna
never
say,
hear the end results of that.
I would say you do it,
Right?
then you
yeah.
fix it, and you
I
take it
mean,
off.
didn't you guys say to us not more than 2 months ago?
Oh, no, wait a
that we were
minute.
looking
Yeah.
for,
We've billed ORNL.
Frank's making a good point.
We billed ORNL on
but
some
we don't
occasions.
hear about it, but then we don't hear the end results.
I'd like to ask Art for that now, because I think you said it at a meeting, Art, we held back a month's
We're 2 months in
pay
there
or
right
something
now.
for
We
them.
have more than that.
But
Did
then
we
what
ever
happens
eventually
then?
give them that money?
No, we just,
We're still holding it.
we were in arrears 3 months, and we just paid them a month, so we're still.
But will they eventually be made whole again?
Well,
Or
I
is that
think
is that
that,
a penalty?
in my estimation, I think that's part of the whole deal. You have, the contract's gonna run out in June, you have them 60 days in arrears. There will come a day of reckoning when the things, the issues that we think that they owe us in the final analysis should be deducted from whether.
But just so you know that it's already starting, that there's reason, they're blaming reasons why certain things are not being done are because we're holding back whole payments and not for the contract penalizing them for individual things. So I think we have to be careful about this as well. I mean, you just have to roll with the security issue.
So the best we can do is if we're not satisfied, if Joe's not satisfied, he goes to Tony. If Tony's not satisfied, he goes to a management company, whoever it may be, to pull back. And then in the end, they may get it back anyways. So
I think that's
how do
right.
we control these people here?
I don't think it's the best way to hold it back, because it's very clear in the contract what the recourse is, and the recourse is you're penalized. And you pay whatever the bill is at the end of the month, if it's $100, and by contract, you go, well, you didn't do this, I have a right to penalize you with $1,000. So at the end of the month, I don't give you $18,000. I pay the bill, I subtract the penalty as per the language in the contract. You didn't meet this expectation, you're fine. It's a fine, is what
What
it
have
is.
we with Joe so far? Dollars and cents.
I don't think anything specific, like a fine. I think it's just holding back that $18,000 payment, yeah.
But where does that get you?
Well, I think
You
it
just
got them
said-
where they're at right
Yeah.
now, and that is,
That's what I'm
you know,
saying.
pristine contract that they've had for 10 years is now in jeopardy. I mean, yeah, you know, this ultimately, I know it's gonna happen. If they lose the contract in June, there's, like Art said, a day of reckoning will come. We're not gonna pay them right out and say, okay, yeah, goodbye. There'll be some money's held, and then, you know, lawyers will make some money battling this deal out.
Litigation,
You
yeah,
know,
here it comes.
And then ultimately, that money that we would have paid them, some portion of it, or they'll settle and say, look, give us, whatever the deal is, there'll be a day of reckoning. But the bottom line is,
But in the interim,
It costs us more lawyers.
what does Tony do with one or more of these management employees who just aren't doing their job, and management says, no, we're satisfied with them? A custodian, we could say, yeah, we're reprimanding you, put a reprimand in his or her file, suspend, or maybe even terminate, which just happened. But what do you do with a management company employee who is not doing his or her job? Withhold back, and then at the end, maybe they get the money.
No,
Where's their control? I don't see it.
I think
the
the
school
we have
system
a
has a
better,
say in that.
Say it?
Yeah.
I think we have had more success with, if there's an employee of the private management company that we don't like, they're gone. The management company either moves them, I don't know what they
Well,
do.
there's been a few of those instances.
But,
Security that has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you an
It's a lot
example, I
more
was down at a hockey
difficult
game
with
one time,
our
and the
own
security guard was
employees.
down there with the girl.
It's a lot more difficult with our own employees for termination. You can reprimand, you can suspend, you can do all that, but it's a pretty monthly process for termination.
Well, that was extreme, it's a termination, but I mean, just a reprimand. I mean, you're sending a message. You know, next time, don't be sleeping in the boiler room, you know? You're supposed to be sweeping the floors. Just like we clamped down here with hats, smoking, and cell phones. It's a lot better now, isn't it, the last couple of years? Because the message got out. And I think that's where the problem is, you get the message out.
then it only strengthens my point that we shouldn't have a management company. Because if I have to micromanage management company
Right.
for the employees that they're getting
But you're
paid to
paying all
manage,
that money for it.
then you know what? We got a big problem.
Well, that's where that, what do you call it? Building engineer or whatever might go into play?
I can think of several instances where guards have been let go for different actions that they did that.
Actually, our issues basically, when you have a service contract,
Absolutely.
when you have a service contract, basically your issues are with the company that holds the contract. You don't discipline your workers, bottom line is you know, they work for them. If they're happy with their level of work, then we're not happy with you as a management company. But, you know, yeah, it's pretty bad to come in here and see if somebody's sleeping on the job or whatever, but you know what? They're supposed to be policing that, so we can only hold them accountable, you know, the management company say, look, you're not doing your job, we're finding your employees sleeping. That's why you have termination clauses and things in contracts. But if you want, I think you defeat the purpose of a management contract when we have to do what we're doing right now. Vanessa's walking around with a clipboard.
Right.